So good morning, and thank you very much to all of you for coming. It's a great pleasure for me to be back at the United Nations, this time in my capacity of the Chairperson-in-Office of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which is the largest security organization under Chapter 8. And I had the opportunity to present our priorities to the Security Council. The three key words for our chairmanship are for people, dialogue and stability. And our three priorities are conflicts, prevention, mediation and mitigation of impact on people. Second, providing for a safer future, addressing the challenges of the 21st century, but also making sure that the young generation, women, are included in everything we do. And the third priority, effective multilateralism and the better cooperation with different international organizations, starting with the UN, of course, in particular. I was very encouraged to receive strong support for our priorities from all 15 members of the Security Council. We've also discussed the concrete ways how our two organizations can work together. And the good thing is that there is a clear understanding that issues such as counterterrorism or cyber security or climate change simply cannot be addressed in a unilateral manner, and the cooperation between the United Nations and regional organizations such as the OSCE are of crucial importance here. We also spoke about the basis for our cooperation, and the good thing is that we have a number of documents, memorandums of understandings, letters of cooperation, such as OSCE and the Office on Counterterrorism. At the same time, the basic framework document on cooperation between the UN and the OSCE was signed back in 1993, and we have initiated its modernization. I did it in my meeting with the Secretary General because we really need a document that is more comprehensive and reflects the current level of cooperation between the two organizations. And finally, the members of the Security Council used this opportunity to provide their assessment of different conflicts and issues on the agenda of the Security Council and on the agenda of the OSCE. Lots of attention was dedicated to the situation in and around Ukraine, Georgia, Transnistrian settlement, Nagorno-Karabakh, but also Western Balkans, Kosovo in particular. So this was all very useful for me and for my team, because this also shows the views of the members of the Security Council on the issues that are currently on our agenda. So all in all, I want to say that this briefing was very useful, very businesslike, and I feel very encouraged by the strong support we received for our priorities.
Thank you. To what extent is the OSCE addressing the economic underpinnings and roots of a lot of the conflicts that you need to deal with? The current PGA is very concerned about the global economic inequality and the ramifications of that. So what percentage of your, what can I say, of your observations would rank economic inequality as a root cause?
Well, the OSCE is working in three dimensions. The first one is peace and security, and here our priority number one, conflict prevention, and we know very well that if you want to prevent conflict, you have to address root causes, and inequality is among them. So the sustaining peace concept that was developed here at the United Nations in 2016 is exactly the way how we are trying to address the root causes of conflict. At the same time, the second dimension of the OSCE is the economic and environmental dimension, and this is also the platform where we are discussing the issues related to the ones you mentioned, and economy is present, or economic issues are present on the agenda of the OSCE.
What specific measures or steps is the OSCE taking with respect to the current situation in Ukraine? And for example, has the OSCE endeavored to secure the release of the Ukrainian sailors that are being detained in Russia?
When it comes to the crisis in and around Ukraine, no other international organization, not even the UN, has a mandate as strong as the OSCE. It is the Normandy format that is dealing with the political side of the conflict settlement. There is a special monitoring mission, which is the most robust international presence on the ground, more than 1,300 people, our eyes and ears on the ground, providing daily monitoring of the developments there. And this monitoring is used by the UN and other international organizations. Then there is the Trilateral Contact Group, which is a platform where all parties to the conflict are sitting together discussing the concrete solutions to concrete issues. So there is as I said, we have the mechanisms that are used to address the issues. I visited Ukraine. That was my first trip in my capacity of chairman in office. I went to the line of contact. I talked to people who are affected by the conflict. After that, we've developed a set of concrete measures, 9 concrete measures that we believed should be taken forward and addressed during our year. Number 1 issue is the reconstruction of the Stanica Luhanska bridge, which is the only crossing point, entry-exit point in the Luhansk area, and this bridge is damaged. There are more than 10,000 people crossing this bridge a day, and it's inhuman, and I've appealed to the parties to do everything to reconstruct this bridge. I brought that list of measures to Moscow. I went through this list with Minister Lavrov. He agreed, and he promised that Russia will use its influence to help address these issues. Other measures on the list are issues such as humanitarian demining, protection of civilian infrastructure, and so on. So we are trying to achieve, while promoting the political solution, at the same time trying to deliver concrete results for the people affected by the conflict.
What about the detained sailors,
when it comes
and also the issue of who controls the waterways?
Yes, when it comes to the sailors, a number of OSCE participating states have issued their calls for the release. Other international organizations have done so as well. I have raised this issue during my visit to Moscow. And when it comes to the role of the OSCE in the Sea of Azov, it all depends on the mandate. Right now, this is not part of the mandate. OSCE has already increased the monitoring of the situation, but for any more robust mandate, it will require a consensual support of all 57 participating states.
On the situation of Transnistria, in which I understand, I've been in the area, that there are a number of illegal checkpoints and also some traffics, including currency traffic and perhaps weapons, are being carried out. What is the situation that the OSCE monitors have observed?
When it comes to Transnistrian settlement process, we have a positive momentum right now. After around 2 years with zero progress, the parties agreed on the package of 8 concrete measures, and they started delivering on them. These are, again, measures of practical and positive impact on people, like recognition of diplomas in Transnistrian universities or issuance of neutral license plates for cars from Transnistria that make it possible for them to travel to Europe, better access for farmers to the lands that have been forbidden to them before, and things of this nature. So we are encouraging the continuation of this process, complete fulfillment of these 8 measures, and of course adopting other, or identifying and then agreeing on other things. So right now we have a positive momentum. I was in the area, I was in Moldova in January. I encouraged the parties to continue in this positive spirit. In the meantime, we had parliamentary elections in Moldova 24th of February. So right now we are in the process of discussing the formation of the government. Our wish is that these logical political discussions after the elections will not impede or will have no negative impact on the process of 5+2 negotiations and Transnistria settlement.
Mr. Chair, I'm Carol Landry with AFP, Agence France Presse. On the issue of a UN peace mission to Ukraine, you mentioned in the Council that this was not a new idea and you had nothing to say on it. Is this to mean that, from your point of view, it's a non-starter?
Well, that's not what I say. My message is that it is for the Security Council to decide. And right now we have what we have. there is no discussion about the UN mission here. If there will be a decision, we will accommodate it. But for the time being, I don't really believe that we shall be speculating on the potential UN mission. We have to use the mechanisms that we have right now, which are, as I said, the Special Monitoring Mission, Trilateral Contact Group, and the Normandy format. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.